How are you guys doing? Welcome back to the Healing and Hope series, podcast series with your girl Nate. I'm happy to be back up here. It's been a long time. Wow. No, but seriously, how are y'all doing? Like, what's this? But yeah, I hope y'all been good though. Um, I'm very excited. Can't you tell how excited I am? I'm very excited to be up here because the season will be over soon. It will be over soon, so I'm very excited to be up here. Trying to give y'all as much as I can over this next month. I'm gonna try. Um, but like I always tell you, I can't really. I have to go through it first. Like I have to really go through it and get through it and share it. Like I don't want to be. I'm not a gatekeeper, so like I try to like whatever I like receive while I'm going through something. I'm gonna share it because it's my life, but also, it's possible that it could be somebody else's life that, they may be trying they may be going through or trying to get through. And, one of the things that I've learned is that a lot of us don't know how to ask for help. Like, hey, and it doesn't even have to be like for certain things, but even like, for example, like I just said, if you're going through something, if you're fighting through something, and you need help with something, maybe even just some advice, but it's like people are too scared to ask for that. Like, hey, how did you get through this? Or hey, how do you think I can, navigate this situation? Or I'm going through this. Like, is it something that you dealt with? Like, how did you get through it? And it's so funny because I literally just went through the same thing as well. Realizing that I don't like asking for help, even if it's not like monetary or like materialistic, I still don't like asking for help. Because I still struggle with like the aspect of somebody judging me. So it's like, if I tell you this, are you going to judge me or are you going to really listen to me and help me, right? So I'm trying to still get through that. Like, I have people in my life that genuinely like love me, genuinely want to help me, genuinely want to see me get through things and overcome things. But a lot of my past like stops and hinders me because I still sometimes see them as, stuff in my past. So it stops me from really like asking for the help I need to get through something because I don't want anybody to like judge me or like talk about me, like stuff like that. So I had asked my mentor the other day. It has been on my mind. It had been on my mind so heavily, but I was like scared to really ask her. But I finally asked her and I was like, yeah, how do you stay focused? Like, how do you stay focused on blase? Like, how do you like, you know, how do you have like a desire for one thing, but you still stay focused on this thing? So like, not going towards the thing you have a desire for. Basically, I was talking about like being in a relationship. I was like, how do you stay focused? Like, and she was telling me just like, she remembered how it was for her to, be in relationships or deal with certain things and how she would react. And so what keeps her focused is, you know, remembering how she would be and knowing like, okay, if I focus on, wanting to be in a relationship, it might take my focus off of what I need to really focus on. And I was like, because it was exactly what I needed to hear. It was like, because I'm the same way. Like, I know, like, if I'm dealing with somebody or dating somebody, like, I don't play no games. But it's like, I don't want to be in that energy. Like, I don't want to be in that energy. So, I say all that to say is, like, don't be afraid to ask for help because somebody has been through what you've been through. And if it's on your heart and it's on your mind, then definitely ask. Because I'm telling you, what they tell you is going to be exactly what you needed to hear. And it's not like, oh, they're going to judge me, or they know, like, some people out here really have been through a lot of things, have been through it, have overcame it, and want to help, want to give back that help, want to, give out that advice, want to, like, give that wisdom that'll really help somebody else get through it, what they're going through because they've been through it or they've seen something similar like it. And so that's something I have to remember as well. Like when I'm going through something, don't be afraid to ask for help. You know, don't even feel bad for what you're going through, because that's another thing for me. It's like if I'm going through something, I'm like, I start thinking I'm hard on myself. So I start thinking like I shouldn't be going through this. Like I shouldn't be going through this. Like I shouldn't have to be dealing with this. Like, you know, like why? Like a lot of stuff in my head where really like I need to go ask. I need to go get the help so that I can, you know, even see how to get through it myself. Like I don't have to get through it by myself. I don't have to get through it alone. And that's something that I've been working on. Yes, very, very, very much. But yeah, I guess that's kind of how I want to start it off. Like, don't be afraid to ask for help. Like, if you need help, if you're going through something, ask somebody that can help you. Don't just ask anybody. Don't just ask anybody. Ask somebody that can really help you. Yes, don't just ask anybody. I'm not saying just ask anybody, because yes, we don't live in a perfect world yet. So I do agree, not everybody will be able to help you. But if you know it's somebody that can really help you, don't be afraid to ask for that help. To, you know, be able to get you through situations that you've been going through, you know, because that advice that they give you can really help you see things differently. Um, so, yeah. I don't know why I said like that in the first place, because I knew my leg was going to stop hurting. But, yeah. So today's episode is going to be called Mindset Matters. And y'all, all this week, I have a strong mind, but I still struggle too. But I have a very strong mind, and it's got me this far. But it's not like just perfect mind, perfect mental state, right? I still go through stuff. I still, you know, have certain thoughts that still like hinder me or still get me in certain like emotions and things of that nature. So it's not that, like just because I have a strong mind does not mean like I'm just you know, I can do anything. No. Honestly, again, yeah, I still struggle. So over this past week, I've been in a training, and I've been getting a lot of like wisdom. A lot of things have been being poured into me, and it's been very, very helpful. So I wanted to definitely like that's just been my week. That's just been what I've been doing. It's what I've been growing, you know, through. And it was not easy. It was not easy. Like my schedule was literally from like 6 a.m. to like late 12 in the morning. One night I did not sleep. One night I slept for 2 hours. So it was very, very like yes, it was very strenuous. It was very not playing no games. And that's because I had a lot of assignments as well. Like it started off good, like, oh, okay. But as it went on, yes, it taught me a lot. It taught me a lot. For sure. So yes, I just kind of want to share just not even what I learned, but what I learned. So I guess what I learned is the importance of like mindset, the importance of how you think, especially when it gets difficult or when it gets challenging or when it gets hard, when it doesn't look so good or when it's not so easy, being able to still like fight through it, right? So yeah, today's episode is called Mindset Matters. And you see, truthfully, you just cannot be weak-minded. Like, you cannot have a weak mind. You cannot have a mind of a loser. You cannot have a mind of, I cannot do this or I won't do this. You just have to have a winner's mindset overall. Like, when you're somebody who accepts a challenge, when you're somebody who has, like, even a challenge in life, when you go through a lot of things, when you experience a lot of things, like, you cannot, like, buckle down. You cannot break. You cannot back down. Like, you really got to have a mindset of, I got to win at all costs. Yeah. So, I didn't have much notes, but then I was like, let me take a little bit. I only had two little thoughts. But before I got on to that, I was like, let me just see the definition. And then once I read the definition, which, yeah, okay. It really helped a lot. But mindset is the established set of attitudes held by someone. And when I read that, I was just cheesing. I was just smiling because I'm like, yes, that is mindset for sure. Like your attitude, it's your set of attitude or it's your set of beliefs that you really like believe in, or it's the like attitude is like the way you are, right? Actually, let me look it up. It's how you like feel about something. So an attitude is a set of way of thinking or feeling about someone or something. Typically one that is reflected in a person's behavior. So yeah. So yeah, it's like just it's really like what you believe, like your attitude is what you believe in, what you have confidence in, like what you know. Yeah. So really, like what I was thinking about first was like the things you say, think, and believe in are crucial, are very, very crucial. What you say is very crucial. Like what you say to yourself, what you say about other people is crucial. How you think about yourself, how you think about other people is crucial. Like what you believe in is very, very crucial. It's very, very important to your life, to the way you move, to the way you go about your day to day. The things you say to yourself from the time you wake up to the time you go to sleep, your thoughts from the time you wake up to the time you go to sleep, what you believe from the time you get up to the time you go to sleep, it really, really matters. Like, it really, really matters. It really makes a difference. Like, if you wake up and you like, oh, like, I don't want to do this. Like, oh, I'm tired. I cannot do this today. Or I'm going back to sleep. Or I don't care about what happens today. Like, if you wake up with that type of energy, that's the energy you're going to carry all day long. If you have that type of attitude, that type of mindset, that type of belief, like, that's how your day gonna look, right? If you have these thoughts in your head, like, even if you don't say it out loud, if you have these thoughts of, like, oh, I'm drained, oh, I'm tired, oh, I don't wanna go to this job, oh, I don't wanna be around these people, oh, I don't wanna do this, I don't wanna do that, like, that matters. Like, that's going to, like, set your tone, set your day, right? What you believe in as well. Like, if you don't believe in anything, that sets your day, that sets your tone. Like, for me, I get up and I pray. I pray in the mornings. I pray in the mornings and I ask God to really like set my day, like guide my footsteps, guide my day, guide my footsteps, view me everything I do. And so that sets the tone because I invite God into my life every day to the point where, I'm asking him, for his help and how my day goes and how he guides my day, right? So like, that's my belief. I believe in God, so when I pray, when I wake up, I ask him for his help, right? When I pray, so like before this training, like I used to wake up like, because my first meeting in the mornings are at 6:30 a.m. My meetings are at 6:30 in the morning every day, except for Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays. I don't have to be up at 6:30, but every other day I have to be up at 6:30. And let me tell you, I'm not a morning person, so I had to really like going through that training really helped me to see like how I need to start waking up. I need to start waking up better. Like even if I don't have a thought or have a word to say, that's better than thinking negative when I have to get up in the morning. Like even if I just hear my alarm and I just get up, that's better than saying like, ugh, like I don't want to get up. Like I don't want to get up, but just not saying nothing and doing, I think that's better because it's like, okay, I'm just doing it right now. But like once I get up here, and send me a prayer in my heart and, have this meeting, that helps until I'm able to like pray and, do what I gotta do, shower and all that, and get myself together for real because I literally wake up like 10 minutes before my meeting. I'm not gonna hold you. I wake up like 10 minutes. I need to wake up earlier, but I wake up 10 minutes to like at least get myself like ready, But yes. Yeah. So yeah, again, the things you say, the things you think, what you believe in, it really makes or breaks your journey. Like you have to have, you gotta keep a positive mental, a positive mindset. Um, One of the things that I learned that really has been sticking with me over the past week, and it's something that I've heard before, but I think it really stuck with me because one of the things that my mentor was telling us during this training was that we don't need to go through this training and then go back to how it used to be. Like, this training should really be effective to us. It should really be the start to something new. And so one of the things that's been sticking with me is that that was told to us was that we gotta win in our mind first. Like, you have to win in your mind first, right? And that really was helpful to me because I be losing in my mind sometimes. It's been like my biggest thing is sleep. Like, everybody's like, every time I talk about something in general, it's gonna relate to people in a different way. Like, we all have our weaknesses. We all have the things that we lack in, and one of mine is sleep. Like, and I will get into this more, but I love my sleep. Not so much anymore. I don't really put an emphasis on it. Like, that's how much 1 week has changed me. I don't really put an emphasis on it anymore. But like, before my training, like, I loved my sleep. Like, I felt like I needed to get at least 4 or 6. No. 6, 7, or 8. Like, at least 6 to 8. I feel like I needed to get those. I needed to have at least 7. At least 7. But I recognize, like, that's the way I was losing in my mind. Like, having to get up early every day, but telling myself, like, oh, you're tired, your body's tired, you cannot do this, you cannot get up, maybe later, go back to sleep. I would still get up for my meetings at 6:30 because it was only an hour, and I would go right back to sleep and sleep for a long time. So really telling like, right now, like, if I wouldn't have gone to that training, I probably would be asleep right now. Sleep, okay? But I'm up. I feel really good. Like, that training really just did a number on me to the point where it's like, I don't want to go back to, like, the way I was carrying out my life a week the way I was carrying out prior to that week that I started, right? Like, I would just tell myself like that. And then, like, what I recognize is that, I was really hindering myself a lot. Really, really hindering myself with those type of thoughts. Because the amount of stuff that I was able to get done within that week, like, yes, my week was, like, jam-packed. Like, I didn't really have a break throughout that week. Like, from 6 all the way to late at night, we were up and we were busy doing what we had to do. Busy taking care of the things that we need to take care of. And we got some breaks, but the only true breaks we got were, like, to eat. And they were even, like, just, like, 25, 30 minutes. Like, really having to, like, eat really fast. But, it made me really look at, like, how I was really spending my time. And a lot of my time I was sleeping when I really could have been doing other things. Really could have been on top of other things. Like, and even prior to going into the training, one of my things was, like, I want to do this training because I want to overcome, like, sleeping and being able to have a better time management schedule. Because what I had noticed before going into the training was that I kept getting behind on a lot of my assignments, like a lot of my reports that I needed to, like, get finished. I would be having to finish them at the last minute, on the last day, and it was because of how I was spending the rest of my days before the time came for me to have everything done. So, like, let's say, like, I had to have everything done by Sunday, so my Monday through, like, Friday, Saturday was, like, not productive. So, like, on that Saturday night, on that Sunday night, I was, like, cramming everything in to the point where nothing is really getting finished. And so I had to, like, ask for extensions. And I was like, this is not okay. So I really realized, like, it was my sleep. And so I had to really understand, okay, what about my sleep? Like, what is it? Like, why do I keep, like, choosing to sleep? And going through the training, I realized, like, it was my mindset about it. Like, feeling like I need to get 6, 7, 8 hours of sleep in order to function. Like, if I don't get this many hours of sleep, like, really telling myself this to the point where I'm believing it. Like, that's my attitude, right? That's my mindset of, like, if I don't get this many hours of sleep, I'm not gonna be able to function. So I'm getting these hours of sleep, but it's still like I'm still not getting things done. Like, I'm thinking that if I get this sleep, I'll be like, hey, okay. But still getting this sleep that I feel like I need, but still, like, having to ask for extensions at the end of the week because I'm still not productive. Like, yeah, I'm getting to sleep, but for what? Like, what am I getting the extra hours of sleep for if I'm still not on top of things, right? So really look at it, the sleep is actually hindering me because the time that I was asleep, I could have actually been up doing something, right? So that's just what my situation kind of looked like. So really realizing that I had to win in my mind first, right? Staying out of my thoughts, staying out of like the way I was thinking about things. Again, like really thinking like if I don't get this sleep, I'm not gonna make it. To the point where throughout the training, 2 days of that training, I got 2 hours of sleep one night, and I didn't get no sleep the next night. So it was like in a row. And so I was telling one of my old mentors, I was like, yeah, I don't know how I'm even awake right now. I don't know how I'm alive. And one thing she was telling me, she was like, you never thought you would be here, would you? Did you? And I was like, no. She was like, you never thought you would be here standing, literally going out for nothing, but still like bright as ever, still standing up, still going strong. She was like, you never, no, I never thought I would be. And it really made me realize how sleep is actually something that really hinders us. It's really something that we think we need to get, but I mean, yes, I was a little. It's funny because yes, I was a little delusional. Yes, I was delusional, and I was really fighting for my life. But I made it. I made it. Like I didn't pass out. I didn't really go crazy. Like, I mean, there was some times where, because I feel like my body wasn't really used to it. Because you have to get used to it as well. Like, not having no sleep at all, but being able to function off of, like, small hours of sleep, like 3 or 4 hours of sleep. I feel like you do have to get used to that. But that was a start for me. And so, of course, I struggled. Because it was my first time in a long time. And I don't think I've ever pulled an all-nighter. Maybe, like, once or twice in my life. So it was a start for me of recognizing and realizing, okay, you don't need 6, 7, 8 hours of sleep. You can really function off of no sleep. You can really function off of 2, 3, 4 hours of sleep. But your body also, I will say that your body has to get used to it. You do have to train your body, beat your body in order for it to be able to be able to do that every day. Like for me, that's something I need to be able to get used to. Because that's just my life. That's just my life. Like I said, everybody's situation is different. But that's just my life. Like, I have to get used to, like, 3, 4 hours of sleep sometimes. Like, sometimes. So that really helped me throughout the training. Really to recognize and understand and having this attitude of, like, I have to get up, and I have to get up on time. I have to get up early. And if I just went to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning, then so what? I have to get up 4 hours later. And that's just what it is. And you're going to be okay. You're going to make it because you've seen. Like, that's just kind of like me, for example, like losing a lot of things, but still somehow managing to still be here today, still making it through. Like not having a job, but still I'm eating. Like, how is that possible? So that's the same thing. Like remembering, like, okay, remember that time you went with no sleep or 2 hours of sleep, and you still made it through the day. Like that's kind of how you have to like remember. Like that's how I have to remember, like how God like really helps me. Like when I didn't have anything, like I still was okay. Or when I didn't get that sleep, like God still helped me make it through the day. Getting everything done and fully like aware of what I'm doing. Like I said, it's something I have to still get used to because that night I got no sleep and the next day I was fighting. I'm gonna be real, I was fighting for my life. I was fighting for my life. Like every time I sat down in trainings, it was hard. Like when I was up and moving, it was good. But whenever I sat down to actually like be in the training and I was like I was like fighting for my life. To the point where, like, in one of the trainings, like, I was falling asleep and I was like, like I started talking. But, yeah, like, I think the point of the training for me was to recognize, like, you don't need 8 hours of sleep to be okay. Like, you can make it off of 4, you can make it off of 2. Like, that's not going to always be your life, but training your body to be okay on just 4, 3, 4, 5 hours of sleep is something that you need to start doing because that's your life now. And everybody wants different paths of life. So when I say that's my life now. Like that's my life now. And sometimes I've been looking like, how are you still like shining? Like how are you still so like that's God? Like people like, you need to get sleep. I'm like, I can't. So I have to embrace where my life is. Like that's a part of my current path. So it's like I have to embrace it and I can't like be lazy. I can't tell myself like, oh, you're tired. I can't tell myself like, oh, you'll do it later. Take a nap, get some rest. You need to sleep. Like I cannot tell myself that because it's literally hindering me from what I really, really have to get done. What I really, really need to do. Like, and that's just my path. That's just my journey. Like that sleep literally hinders me. So yes. So the thing is like no matter what your situation looks like, no matter what your weakness currently is, like what you're lacking in, is like you have to be able to win against all the thoughts that come inside your mind. Um, because your mind can be your own worst enemy. Your mind is your own worst enemy. Actually, somebody I was just talking to somebody yesterday, and they was just telling me, they was asking me, it was like, well, how is your mental? And I was like, it's good. You know, I have a very strong mental, but I was like, it still try to come against me a lot of times. So like, even when I'm like doing good, like even when like things are good for me, my mental will still try to get me to think something else. So like our mental, like I said, is our own worst enemy. Our mental can still be something that can go against us, especially if we have a lot of trauma. Especially if we have been through a lot. When we're trying to grow, when we're trying to do better, that's why the way you think matters, because like you could go through a situation or be in a situation, and because of what you've been through, what you're going through, your mind can really make you believe something that's not true. To the point of the way you react, the way you perceive a certain situation will come out. So for example, um mm, what's an example? What's an example? Let's say you struggle with like depression or anxiety, but you're doing better with it. Like you going to therapy, you went to therapy, you're doing things that helping you do better. Um, and so you're actually like getting stronger in your mind. But then you like go through a situation that really brings like grief, or it really brings like the state of like you not wanting to like do things. Okay, for example, let's say you have like been through like depression or anxiety, and let's say you lose your job, and you know like you've been good on like your depression and your anxiety, right? But then you like happen to lose your job. So of course, for me, money isn't everything, but still like we need money to like physically live our lives. So if you lose your job, like that could be really something that really makes you, you know, it can really put you in a state of mind where it's like, dang, like, okay, what am I gonna do now? What am I gonna do next? Like, what about my stability? Like, what's happening? Like, how I'm gonna pay these bills? How I'm gonna do this? How I'm gonna do that? So like, we start to like get in our head. We start to think a lot. To a point where we're like overthinking. Like, what if I lose my car? What if I lose my house? What if I cannot eat? Like, what if I cannot take care of my kids? Like, we start to have all these types of thoughts that really can really put us in a space of darkness, a place of darkness. Um, to the point where it can lead us back to, you know, that depression that we have fought so hard to get out of. So the thing that I'm trying to get across is that, like, because of, and then, you know, a lot of times, like, okay, I lose my job, I don't have money to do this, I don't have money to do that. It also relates to how, like, people may see us, like, okay, how will my mom or dad, my family feel like now I don't have a job? Or, you know, how will I look in the eyes of others now that I don't have a job and I can't really hang out and do the things that I used to do? I can't get this, I can't get this, you know, I can't even go out to eat. I can't take my girlfriend, my boyfriend out to eat anymore because I lost my job. Like, you know, like we have all these type of thoughts, but I think when it comes to mindset, having the correct mind, and this can be any situation. It can be like a breakup, you know, oh, you know, this person left me, like I'm useless, I'm worthless, there's no value, like what is it me? Like, you know, we have all these type of thoughts that come into our mind. So we go back into this low space, this low place, and it's just like, you know, we're losing up here. We're losing in our world of thoughts, right? And that's another thing that one of my mentors tell us, like, we don't overcome certain things. It's because we begin to lose in our world of thoughts. Like, we have to learn how to win here first. And so, like, if you're having these thoughts and if you're losing, you go back into that dark place, right? But having this healthy mindset, this good mindset, like, oh, I lost my job. Like I just said, like, basically, oh, I lost my job. You have these initial thoughts, like, oh, what am I going to do? But ultimately, you have to go back to the time that, okay, I made it before, so I'll make it again. Oh, I'm going through this breakup. Well, I've been through a breakup before, and I'm okay. I'm still standing. I'll get through this one too. Like, not ignoring like how you feel, because we're human. So those emotions are gonna come. The initial thoughts, the negative thoughts, they are gonna come. But we have to learn how to win in our thoughts first. We have to learn how to win against our word of thoughts. We have to learn how to overcome our word of thoughts. Like, I'm a thinker. Like, that's how I have always like got deep down into my low places, because I think so much to the point where, like, for example, like, if I feel nauseous, like if I feel sick, and that happens to me a lot, like the only thing I think about is like, I'm sick, I feel sick, I feel sick. What's wrong with me? I feel sick, I'm sick. I don't feel good, I don't feel good, I don't feel good. And so to the point where I really feel even worse. I feel even worse. Instead of trying to like just say, okay, I don't feel good, you know, what can I do to make me feel better? Let me go buy a ginger ale. Like, have you ate today? Like, what do you need? You know, like, what is your body, take an account of your body. Like, what might your body need at this time to make you feel better? Do you need to rest? You know, do you need some ginger ale? Like, do you need to go to the doctor? Like, really just, you, of course, having the thoughts that you're going to have, but then, like, being able to have this mindset of, okay, that's enough. That's enough, you know. I can get through this. I can overcome this. I don't have to think myself into a panic attack. I have to think myself back into a low place, a dark place. So, mindset really matters when we're going through situations, when we're going through different things. Like, again, like I said, a lot of times it does stem from trauma. Like, when we are faced with certain challenges, certain situations, we tend to, like, lose, you know. We tend to react or respond in a certain way that's not like the best way to respond. But ultimately, we have to really be able to perceive the situation, or, you know, think about the situation in a different way, in a different light. Excuse me. Excuse me. Um, but yeah. Um, yeah. So, like, the type of mindset you have really does like shape the way you react, help you perceive things in a different light. Um, like today, my mindset was, I got up, I had my meeting, and like, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, I'm going back to bed. So you see, the initial thought, like, I'm going to bed to my next, because my next meeting is at 9. So I was like, I'm going back to bed to this next meeting. But I was like, you know what? No, I said I wasn't going to do the same thing that I was doing before I had this training. And the training was very, very helpful to me. And I really, really valued it, because a lot of us were meant to do this training, but only some of us did it. So just really even seeing the value in that. So I was like, you know what? I'm up, I'm going to stretch, and I'm going to go for a jog. So I stretched and I went for the jog, because I had been jogging. Like, we got up and did like physical training. For the training, like, we would go out and we would go stretch and we would jog and, you know, do some other things, right, on the baseball field. So my body's already, and I realized, like, one of the things that I realized with doing that, because again, I'm not a morning person. So over the past week, what I realized is that, wow, like, this really wakes up my body, it really wakes up my mind. Like, I would come to the field like, oh, like in the car, like with one of the people that I was with, they would come pick me up, and we'd be in the car, and I'd be like, oh, I'm tired. Barely awake, but still like, okay. So going to the field and really like doing everything that we do to wake our bodies up and our minds up, right? And once I'm finished and once we start our day for the day, of the rest of our like schedule for the training, I'm like, wow, like, this really woke me up. And I really loved it. I really, really loved the fact that, like, after I did all of this, like, physical movement, how I was no longer, like, I was literally wide awake, like, both mentally and physically, like, body, like, ready for whatever. And so I was like, I don't want to lose that. Like, I don't want to lose that at all. So to this morning, like, yeah, like I was like, I'm going back to sleep. But then I was like, you know what? No, I'm not about to do that. Like I said that I was going to make a change and not go back to how I was. So I'm going to keep it that way. And that was just like a mindset that was instilled in me of like, when you guys finish this training, you don't need to go back to what you used to do. So, just being somebody who's like, okay, we gonna do this. So I stretched in the house and I jogged all the way to like, I actually, when I walked back, I realized how long I actually jogged. And I was like, wow, I cannot believe you just did that. I was gonna jog back, but yes, we will get there one day. I actually just walked back and like listened to some music and really just, woke myself up some more. Did a little, kind of like a low key a speed walk, not a real speed walk. But not a real speed walk, but low key. And then I was like studying while I was walking, so studying some stuff in my head, like studying it out loud, make sure it was still there, what I needed to have studied. But yes. And then I got back to the house, I took a shower, went into my next meeting, and then I got up here. So really just being awake, just like not wanting to lose that momentum, like not working out to look good, not working out to say, oh, I work out, oh, I do this, oh, I'm getting my body right. But really to wake up my mind, wake up my body so I can really get through my day. Like it's not really about, how you look more so when it comes to working out. That's what I'm realizing about working out. It's not more so about how you look. Like a lot of people want to look good, but it's not even about how you look more so. It's about how working out is really, really very much connected to how you think. It really wakes up your mind to really get you through your day. And that's what I think I love the most. Like not having this end goal of like trying to have a six pack and muscles, but really trying to have an amazing day where I'm really productive and getting everything done that I need to get done. So yeah, like that's my mindset when it came to that. Like, no, I don't. This is not for a physical appearance reason, but this is for a mental reason. Like this is for me to mentally be up to get through my day. So really having that mindset. Not wanting to like, because I know if I would have fell asleep, went back to sleep, got up from my meeting, or I probably wouldn't have maybe not even got up. And I'm just being real. So just not having this mindset of like laziness, like like on the other side of laziness, complacency, and comfortability is the life that we really are wanting. So yeah, and I kind of already talked about it. I already talked about it. So yeah, like when it comes to your mindset, like really mattering, it's like that's pretty much all my notes. So we'll see. We'll see how much more y'all get out of me. But yeah. I hope my hair wasn't sticking up this whole time. But what was I about to say? Yeah. um yes, when your mindset is like it's like you will no longer lose in the situation that you used to lose in. Like even though it's just my first day after like training, it's my first day back on my own with no training. I feel like I felt really good this morning. I feel like it's a start of like no longer losing to like what I have been weak in, what I have been lacking in, which is like thinking my sleep is very, very important. So I think that's the beauty in it. Like once you have a certain mindset about like especially the things that you're lacking in or the things that you're weak in, it's like you no longer lose to that. So um yes, I think the biggest example for me would be my sleep because that's one of the things that I've been struggling in. That's one of the things that I've been trying to like work on and overcome. Is being able to like wake up and not go back to sleep. Wake up and not go back to sleep until it's time for me to go back to sleep. Now I will say if I have time for like a 30-minute nap, hour nap, I'm gonna take it. But most of the time I don't have time. So, but if I do, I'm probably gonna take it. But just really being somebody that really understands, like what I really, really understand is like what I really realize is that I put limits on, what God can do. Like when you really believe in God, like I think the first day when we was jogging, So the first day we was jogging, like I really was praying so hard. I was like, God, please help me. Please don't let me fall out. My lungs hurt. I can't breathe. My voice hurt. Because we was saying like a cadence while we was running. So we was like, we wasn't saying like this, but I'm not gonna say what we was saying, but like what's that song? Like everywhere you go, people wanna know who we are. So we feel. So basically, we was saying like I think it's called cadence. We was also doing a cadence while we was jogging, like. So, well, kind of like we was in like the, right, but we was saying something else, right? But we had to say that out loud, and I was like, so I was praying, and when I realized it's like, and mind you, I had not ate that morning either, so it didn't have that much water because that was like I think that was like the first day, and I was not prepared, and I was praying so hard. And that's when I realized how much I limit God and how much He really helps me and protects me. Because, like, I realized that God wouldn't bring no harm on me. So He wouldn't have me out here running just for me to, like, pass out and, like, die. Or I have to go to the hospital. Like, if He has me out here doing this job and really speaking out this cadence and really doing this physical training, even though, I should have, like, at least ate something. Like, yes, after that, I made sure I had water and at least an orange or something to eat with. But yes, anyway, I realized that, He has me out here for a reason and He wouldn't bring harm to me. So I think I realized like God would help me. And same thing with not having no sleep. Like seeing myself go through that whole day. Like, yeah, I was fighting and yeah, I had my struggles, but I didn't pass out from no sleep, right? So really just seeing how much God helps, just how much God really will, help me get through things. I think not putting a limit on what God can do for us and also not putting a limit on myself, not thinking that I can't do something. Again, even when it came to this morning, like I was skeptical about going to jog. Like, is this something that I really can do? Like, is this something I really need to keep doing? Like, again, like my thoughts about it, but then just doing it, like it was like, wow, you really did it, like, and you can keep doing it. So with my schedule set up though, I'm gonna have to do it. If I want to keep jogging, it's gonna have to be early. Phew, yes. So earlier than 6:30. So pray for me. But yes. No, don't pray for me. But don't do that. Never mind. Don't pray for me. But yeah. So it is for sure all about the way you think. In every situation, like I was saying earlier, like especially when it's hard and when it's challenging. Like me going through that training was very challenging for me. When I first seen the schedule, I was like, huh? I was like, what? No breaks. Like, no, back to back, back to back, back to back. Oh, and we seeing the night at the off, like, going, okay. Really? So really limiting myself, like, it's like, because the first thing that we do is we think, like, our minds get to thinking. So when we're faced with certain situations, when we're faced with certain things, like, you say your boss told you this whole layout on your desk, and you kind of like, okay. I think I can. I don't know. Like a lot of calculating. That really limits. That's really like putting a limit on what you can and cannot do. So I think I'm learning, like, when I receive a challenge, just accepting the challenge head on. Like, okay, this is a lot, but I can do it. Because it's also about being able to ask for help. Because that's one of the things that we had learned early on too. Is like, ask for help if you need it. Like, yeah, it's intensive. Yeah, it's a lot you have to do, but you don't have to do it by yourself. And I think that's the importance as well. Like going through difficulties, going through your situations. Like, having this mindset of like, I have to do it myself. Like, you don't have to do it by yourself. So it's like also like getting rid of that mindset of like, I have to do this or I have to go through things by myself. You do not have to go through anything by yourself. Like, hello, y'all have me. Like, y'all can talk to me. No, but seriously, like, I'm pretty sure y'all have people in your life that have gone through it, have been through it, it doesn't have to even look like you're challenged, but we all gone through things. We all had challenges. We all have difficulties. We all had situations. We all had this trauma that we had to overcome. We've all had these times where we went without, these times where, so even asking like, how did you go through, or how did you get through the situation where you didn't have this, you didn't have that? Like, it can be helpful. Like, we all like lose things, and like we all go through things in life. How did you manage to get through this situation, this breakup? Like, I know you lost your job before. Like, what kept you like going? Like, what kept you like moving? Like, what kept you not being sad or depressed? Because, like I said, some people, they lose their job and it really puts them on helps them go on a deep. Some people lose their job and they really go off the deep end because of that. Like, a lot of people go through a lot of physical things in life and they go off the deep end because of it. Instead of just asking for help. Like, how can I get through this? Because where there's a will, there's a way. Like, you can get through it. You don't have to go through it by yourself. So yeah, it's all about that mindset. Even like I said, different attitudes. Like, a mindset is like having different attitudes, having different beliefs. So developing a mindset of like, I can do it. Developing a mindset of, I'm not going to limit myself. Developing a mindset of like, I will ask for help when I need it. Like, developing a mindset of like, when I make this change, I'm not going back. Having this mindset of like, I value everything that I've been through. Having this mindset of like, I'm going to like share a thing. Like, just having these different mindsets would be very helpful to yourself, and even be able to be helpful to other people. Like, really the way you see things really matters. The way you perceive things really matters. The way you see the situation really matters. Like, you can be seeing it one way, but it's not that way at all. Like, I can be seeing it as like, this is very difficult. But when I went through it and I'm going through it, I'm like, actually, this is not difficult at all. Like, yes, it's very challenging. Yes, it's a lot, but it's not really difficult, It's just, I have to change the way I'm doing it. I have to change the way I think about it. Like, yes, something is difficult if I don't choose to ask for help. Like, yes, this situation is going to be hard if I don't ask for help. Yes, all these assignments that I've been given are going to be hard because I don't know exactly what I'm doing. But if I ask for help, that can make the assignments easier to do because I've asked for the help. Because I'm asking somebody who has done these assignments before, who can give me a better way of how to do them. So it really is like about how you think about things, for sure. Yeah, I think that's it. And it applies for every situation. Like, once again, like going through a breakup, going through losing somebody. Like, I don't want to be like, say like be nonchalant, but also just reminding yourself of like your value, who you are. You're not who you are because of that person. You are who you are because of who you are. You are who you are because of who you are. So like, losing somebody shouldn't make you. Of course, you can be sad if you spent a lot of time with that person, but it shouldn't define like the way you continue to carry out your life, right? It shouldn't define the way you feel about yourself. Like, you're an amazing person. Like, that person wants, like, that person wants, like, you were with that person because that person saw who you were. So I'm pretty sure like, we don't just date just because like they don't like see that person in a certain way that'll make them date them, right? So it's like, you have to really see yourself and your own value when it comes to that. So having that mindset of like being confident in who you are, like, oh, okay, it didn't work out, but I know who I am. So let me get it together, do what you gotta do, of course. Like, if you feel hurt, learning how to say that, like, I feel hurt. Like, learning how to journal about it, learning how to talk about it, but also learning how to get back up. Because you know who you are, you know your value. And your value should not lie in another person. Your value should not lie in another human being. That's not okay. That's not healthy. So really developing like healthier mindsets, I'm confident in who I am. So if this happens, if that happens, it is what it is. And I think over the training, what I realized is that like, once you get through the challenges, once you stop limiting yourself, stop limiting God, stop limiting what you can do, right? You recognize and you realize that you could do anything. Like, you have that confidence of, I can do anything. Like, even today when I decided to go jog, it made me feel really good to the point like, I can do this. Like, I can do this every day. So let's do it. Like, let's make this a habit. Like, let's do it. Now, I'm not going to say like every morning, because I may struggle. So it's not about being perfect, and it's not about trying to like have everything like nailed down packed, but it's all about your mind and the way you see it and the effort. Like I feel like if you change your mind about it, if you're willing to put the effort in, then you may be able to do it every day. You just don't want to like, like, oh yeah, like, just because some days might be harder for you, but because you have that mindset instilled in you now, even on a hard day, you still just might get up. So it's not about trying to be perfect and saying, oh, like, this is my routine now, or I can do this now, because some days you might have harder days. But the point is to have that mindset, because let's say, once again, like, you do go through a breakup, and you go through a time where, you do get sad. But now, like, you have this mindset of, okay, yeah, I am sad. Well, maybe let me journal about it. Or maybe let me go pray about it. And then, let me start my day. Let me just keep going. Like, nothing is easy. Like, even when it comes to losing my dog, like, a lot of times I try not to think about the fact that he's with my dad, like, that was hard for me. But I try not to think about it. But I feel like, if I do think about it, I do get sad. What I have this mindset of is like, I know he's okay. Like, I know he's well taken care of. And I know he hasn't forgotten about me. So it's like I try to like, stay positive instead of getting sad about it. Just try to have this mindset of like, I know he's okay. And I know like he's protected and, he's doing well. Like he's not somewhere that I wouldn't want him to be. So yeah, it is really all about the way you think and not losing in your mind. Not allowing your mind to defeat you, no matter the situation. Really having this healthy mindset, these healthy thoughts to really get you through any situation that comes your way. Even when you are putting yourself in a situation that is challenging to you, still not giving up. Like that 1 week training was very challenging, it was very difficult, but I still didn't give up. Like I could have given that first day when I did that jog, and I don't jog. I had to get up early and jog and move my body. I could have been like, you know what, y'all got this. It's not for me. But I didn't do that. I didn't lose in my mind. I didn't lose in the fact that this is just not something I want to do. But it's like this mindset of I know I need to do this because I know it will be helpful to me. I know I need to fight and get through this because I know that it will spark something in me that has been like the flame has been burning a little low. Like I need to do this so that I can really transform. In a week you never know how you can really change. So yeah. Let's see what else. I'm hungry, so I'm about to go eat. But excuse me. Excuse me. I think that's it. Yeah. Excuse me. I think that's it. This thing is always, is it crooked? Crooked. It's never like perfect, but oh well. I think that's it. I just really wanted to talk to y'all about that. Like y'all mindset, it helps you fight. It helps you get through things. Like, because the enemy will want you to lose. But when you got that mindset, when it's sharp, when it's awake, when it's like there, no matter what you facing, like you perceive it in a different light. Like, somebody could be wanting to get you out of character, but you just like, you got this mindset to look of like, I know what you're doing, like I know what this is. And I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. It's okay. I'm moving along. I'm moving forward. So it's just all about the way you think. It's like, and I know this is so like, yeah, but it's something you have to practice. Like you might have a strong mind one day, but your mind will go again. Especially on a journey of like healing, growing, self development, transformation, growth, change. Like when you're trying to, that's when your mind try to go against you the most, because it's trying to keep you stuck or get you to go back to where you used to be when you trying to. So you have to really go against the grain. You really have to fight against yourself. You have to fight against yourself in a way, in the things that you're telling yourself and the things that you're believing about yourself or about your situation. Like, oh, I don't have a job, so what? Like, I've been good and I'm going to always be good. Oh, like, this person is, I've made it through one situation, I'm going to make it through this one. Oh, this workload is too much. Oh, this is challenging. You know what? Actually, it's not that bad. Break it on. You know, let me at least try. Let me at least put in the effort. Let me just keep going and see what the outcome is. Let me not give up so easily. Let me not give in so easily. Let me not lose so easily. Let me not shrink back so easily. But let me stand up. Let me be confident and let me accept the challenge with my head on high, with my head held high. Let me trust, not just in myself, but in what God can do. Let me believe that God can help me. Let me believe that I'm not alone. That I can get through this. The situation will never be easy. The more you go, the more the enemy is trying. But you have to fight against it. You have to win in your world of thoughts in order to really overcome what's trying to go against you, even if it's yourself. You know, I think I said something. I don't have my phone. I said something yesterday on Twitter. I was like, I don't like to lose, but I realize I don't like to lose, but it's not against other people, but it's against myself. Because sometimes I can lose up here. I can lose in here with my emotions. I can lose in my emotions too. But I realize I don't like to lose. Like I don't want to lose in my thoughts. Like I don't want to lose to the way I'm thinking. You know, and such a healthy thing. Like I don't want to lose against the way I'm thinking. I don't want to lose against the way I'm feeling. I feel some type of way. Oh, so I'm just go to sleep. No, I'm like, oh, I feel this type of way. Or I feel hurt, I feel this, or I'm gonna just crash out, or I'm gonna just not do anything, or I'm gonna just sleep all day. No. Or I feel some type of way. How can I work through it? How can I get through it? How can I go get some advice from somebody that can really help me to see it differently? The way we see it all the time is not the best way. Or we can be clouded by our own emotions, by our own thoughts. We can be clouded sometimes. We can have on those rose-colored glasses. But if you're willing to go ask for help, seek advice, seek and you will find. Like, you will find it. It will come to you. Because, like, that effort of really trying to overcome is being seen. That effort of really trying to win is being seen. Like, win against yourself is being seen. So, what you need will be provided. And you have to believe and you have to trust, like, whatever I'm going through, I'm going to get through it because whatever I need in these situations will be provided, even if it's not right at that moment. But having that confidence, having that trust is very, very important. Having that attitude of, like, that mindset of, like, whatever I need, it will be provided. It will be given to me so I can continue to navigate, you know, this path, this walk, this journey. Choosing not to lose. Choosing not to turn away, not to go back. It's a choice, though. It's a choice to overcome your mind, what's happening in your mind. That's a choice. It was a choice for me to go out and run today. But it started up here because, like I said, I wanted to go back to sleep. But it started up here. It started with, like, you know what? I said what I said, so this is what I'm going to do. So I made that choice and I followed through with it. So we have to learn how to win in our mind first. I was up late Tuesday night. I was up late and I was doing some work and I was so ready to go home. And my old mentor, she came in there and she saw me and she started laughing. She was like, "Lanisha, you're still here?" And I was like, "Yes, I am. I was ready to go." I'm not even gonna lie though, I was ready to go. She was like, "Wow, I cannot believe you're still here," because she's my mentor for a long time, so she's seen, like, my growth over, like, the past, I don't know how many months, but she's seen me grow for so long. Almost a year, actually. Always been almost a year how she seen me grow. So for her to, like, see me, like, still fighting and overcoming my own self, my own sleep, like, wanting to go home and go to sleep, it really had her laughing and really, like, shocked. Because, like I said, she's worked closely with me for a long time. Really helping me along my journey. So for her to, like, see me, it was, like, really a shock. And I told her, I was like, I got to win in my mind first. And she was like, yeah, you got to win in your mind first. She was telling me, like, the way you think, you know, really matters. Like, what you're thinking now really matters. And so I was like, you're right. So it's like when I want to do things that go against what I really know I need to do, I have to really like change the way I'm thinking really, really, really fast. Like really fast. Like not thinking so much to the point where I just don't do anything. I get stuck, or I do what I just go to sleep. Like okay, I'm not doing it. But really quickly, like I said, we're human. So initially, certain things present themselves, and we want to react to certain thing. We want to see it a certain way. But ultimately, like when you're able to really be aware of that, and really catch that, you're able to be like, nope, I'm not limiting myself. I'm not going to go against myself. I'm going to win against myself. You know. So then changing those thoughts to more positive thoughts, like, okay, yes, I'm tired, but this is what I gotta do. Let me do it. I was telling my new mentor that I was telling her like, a lot of times I go throughout my day and I do a lot. So when I get home, even if I have this assignment that I need to do, this report I need to do, I be ready to go to bed. But I was like, I don't want this. And this before I went on a train. I was like, I don't want to do that no more. I was like, regardless if I have to stay up to like 1, 2, 3 o'clock, I need to start getting stuff done. So then when it comes to the end of the week, I have all my reports I can give to you. Everything is done. And so that's really how I went into the training. I was like, I really want to overcome this part. Like, I really want to be somebody who, even if I've been going all day, still having this mindset of like, I'm going to get it done. Because my other mentor, he was telling us the other day, like, there is no tomorrow. Get it done now. And that's something that's I'm trying to implement in my mind as well, because it's not like it's still just yet, but I really loved it. He was just like, it was so funny because one of my people that I work with too, one of my classmates, I had told them the other night, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna just do it tomorrow. He was like, there is no tomorrow. Get it done now. And I was like, where you get that from? But then I heard my mentor over us, like my bigger mentor, he had said that he was like, there is no tomorrow. Like, don't think there's a tomorrow. You need to get it done now. Because, you just might not have time tomorrow. So that's just that procrastination that I'm also trying to, overcome as well within myself. So yeah, it's like that's just my message. Like, win in your mind first. You have to win in your mind first. You have to overcome in your thoughts first. You have to win against your mortal thoughts. That's a lot of times why we lose, because we're not winning up here. That's another thing why we don't get things done, because we're not winning up here. Why we fall back into like our old ways, into like depression, anxiety, allowing certain things to hinder us because we're not winning up here. It's not easy, but you must do it. You have to win up here first. It's actually very challenging to win up here first. Like, it's hard. Like I said, especially when you have trauma, when you've been through things, like you perceive things a certain way. When situations like come to you, you already seeing it from that one view. And it's based off that trauma, it's based off what you've seen before in your life. But if like, okay, I gotta win here first, then like when that certain situation presents itself, like, okay, I do want to react this way. I do want to respond this way. This is how I'm seeing it. But maybe there's another way that I need to see it. Maybe there's another way that I need to respond. There's maybe another way that I need to react to this situation. Because I know if I react this way, or the way I'm seeing it may not be correct. So let me win up here. Let me see how I can differently go about this. So that really, really matters. That's really important. Like, the way we think, what we say, really, really matters. How we see things, how we respond to things really, really matters. So I think that's really the message for today. Is like, yeah, we go through things. Yeah, we are presented with things that may seem difficult, hard. Things may happen that really will cause us to really want to just, yeah. But I think if we really, truly think about it and not lose up here, then everything else will work itself out, for sure. But that is all I have for you guys. I love you guys. Y'all stay beautiful. Y'all stay safe. From my heart to yours. Good night.